Hello everyone and welcome back to the Therapy by Craft YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. I am the maker behind this channel where I like to talk about yarny things. You can find me on Instagram or Ravelry as Therapy by Craft, or you can just hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already done so to keep up with my yarny makes here on YouTube. Today is Tuesday, December 9th. It is early in the morning. I just finished dropping off Sam at school, and I have a little bit of time before work starts. So I thought I would catch you guys up real quick on a lot of these like little things I've been working on, because I have been working on a lot of like little things, but it's been super fun. I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to share them with you. I have 3 finished objects to share with you today, as well as like random whips. I also have acquisitions that I want to share with you, or mostly like subscription yarns that have come in the mail. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The first finished object that I have is yet another Stay Toasty scarf by Veronica Lindberg. AKA Kutivakika. It is such a fun pattern, and I have now memorized the pattern, and I cannot stop making them. Like, honestly, it is so much fun. I think I have, I have 2 others on the go right now, and at this point, I don't even need the pattern. This one is version number 3. This is a finished one. And it is made with the Knitting for Olive merino base in the dusky sea green colorway. I held that color double, or I held the yarn double with itself to create like a DK weight density. I don't think I've ever said that. Like yarn density. No, that is false. That is not true. Like a DK weight yarn. I used 70 grams total. I started this on November 30th and I finished it on December 3rd. This pattern is a paid for pattern, and I think it has definitely been maybe the most worth it pattern to me, meaning I've made it on repeat. I've been making it on repeat for the past month. I did Knitting for Olive merino is a non-superwash yarn, and so I was very curious this time. The very first one I made was also with Knitting for Olive merino, but I was really curious how it blocked. So before blocking, I went ahead and measured this one, and it measured at 48 inches or 120 centimeters. And then after blocking, it is 56 inches across or 140 centimeters, thereabouts. It's interesting to me because all of the scarves that I've made so far, using the numbers in her pattern, have all ended up blocking out to be 56 inches, regardless of whether it's superwash or non-superwash. It's just been 56 inches if I am using the US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needle. But yeah. Oh, there is one modification that I made to this, which is the way that I increase my stitches. The pattern calls for a lifted increase, and again, it's a paid for pattern, so I won't give it away, but I decided that the lifted increase is not for me, especially in scarves like this or patterns like this, where it's immediately following like an I-cord edge, like selvage edge. So instead of doing a lifted increase, I do a yarn over. And then in the next row, I do a knit through the back loop. The only time I don't do that is when I do the very, 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 very first increase to start the scarf. I do that lifted increase, even though it's really cumbersome, because otherwise I think it leaves like a gap if I do a yarn over. So if you have the pattern, you know what I'm talking about. If not, get the pattern and then you'll know what I'm talking about. That is my first finished object. My second finished object I'm also very excited about. I want to make a million more. It is the December bow by Petite Knit. Ta-da! She's done, and she's beautiful, and she ain't focusing. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love her. I want to make 1,000 more. I even ordered barrettes, and it came in a pack of 100. So I have enough barrettes to make like 99 more of these. And I just might. It is so fun. It is a pattern by Petite Knit. And it is, you can have maybe like a DK to Erin weight gauge. I used a US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needle, which is the same as my Stay Toasty scarf. And I just followed the pattern as written. I used a 3-ply fingering weight yarn from Arcane Fiber Works. The main color is called Man on the Moon. It is a sock yarn. And then I paired that with a mohair from Hobie. And it has this like amazing halo, and I just adore how this bow turned out. I love it so much. I think it would make a really cute like hair bow, you know, like a little cute thing back here. And so yeah, I want to make a lot more of these. Now there's a bit of a story to this because I lost her. I finished it, I weighed it, and it weighs 33 grams total. I don't know how much of that is the mohair and how much of that is the main yarn. I probably should have weighed that beforehand. I did not. I was too excited to cast it on, so I just went with it. But I finished it, I weighed her, and then I put her down somewhere, and then I couldn't find her again. And so it wasn't until this morning when I was once again tearing my apartment upside down to find this bow that I found her, and she was wedged. I guess she had wedged it, like it got wedged under, like in between my ottoman and my couch. And so it was on my rug under the couch, but my rug is kind of like very similar in color to this. And so it just camouflaged right in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I found her, but it did make me so sad to imagine for even just a split second that I might not have this. I finished it, I worked on it, and I couldn't find it. Has that ever happened to you where you have a finished object and then like you lose it immediately before you can even use it? Isn't that so tragic? Oh my gosh. It'd be different if I was feeling meh about it, but I really like this. I really like this. So I'm very excited to put a little barrette in here. I don't know who this is going to, but I definitely know that it is going to be a gift, and I'm hoping it'll get some really good use. Anyway, I started this on November 29th, and then I finished it on December 5th. There also was a modification that I made to this pattern as well. It calls for, yet again, a lifted increase, and I, yet again, don't like those. And so for this one, though, instead of doing a yarn over, I did knit front back. So this also has a kind of applied I-cord edging. No, that's not true. It's not called an applied I-cord. It's like an I-cord border as you go. So maybe it's more like an I-cord selvage edge that you are knitting as you work the project. And the way that this I-cord is done, I think it was a little bit easier to do a knit from back instead of a yarn over. So the reason I chose to do that instead with this, and I didn't do a knit from back with the Stay Toasty scarf, is because I noticed that with the knit front back, it creates like when you knit the front part, the front leg of that stitch, and then you knit the back part of the knit front back, that creates a bit of a garter bump or like a purl bump. And so when you're working a garter fabric, right, there are those purl bumps every row anyway, so it's not a problem. It's fine to have that little purl bump there. It hides it the garter fabric hides that purl bump very well. But when I do the Stay Toasty scarf, this isn't all in garter. There are some garter ridges here, but it's not all in garter. And so that's why I do the yarn over, so that that increase will look more like it ends up looking like a twisted knit. But that is texturally anyway better, in my opinion, than having that purl bump there that is created from a knit from back. So this is another paid for pattern by Petite Knit, like I said. And if you have the pattern, what I do is, instead of doing the full selvage edge at the beginning of the row, I do a knit to knit front back to achieve that increase with that purl bump when I'm making this bow. Okay, I hope that made sense. I know it was a little bit vague and not very specific, but again, it's because it's a paid for pattern. I don't want to give too much away. But both of these things were so pleasant to knit, and I think these would make perfect gifts if, you know, we're in the beginning of December and you still have some last minute gifts that you want to make. These would be perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, the last finished object is a blanket. And if you've been following along for a while, I'm sure you can guess which blanket it is. It is my Kiss blanket. It is my stripy one. I am so proud of her. I'm gonna stand up to reveal this blanket because I cannot sit down and do it. It will not do her justice. Okay, you ready? Okay, where is the, here we go. Okay, oh yeah. Da, 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 da. I will even stand up. Ta-da! Here she is. There we go. I love her. I'm gonna turn it like this to the side. Here it is. My finished blanket. Oh my goodness, and I'm actually able to get the whole thing on the screen. That is beautiful. Okay, let's sit and talk about it. Oh, so this is my Kiss blanket, or the Keep It Simple Stripes blanket by Crochet Objet. She has a blog post, and I think you can purchase this pattern, or you can even just look her up. Crochet Objet, Kiss blanket, and her blog post will show up. Essentially what you're doing, this is a garter knit. This is a knit garter blanket where you are alternating colors every 2 rows or 1 garter bump. And it is, gosh, how do I explain it? You introduce a new color every however many rows you want to do. So what I did is I introduced, I held color A, which was this red, with color B, which is this burgundy, and then I continued on with the burgundy so that it overlapped with color C. Then I dropped color A, worked with color B and C, kept color C, which is the yellow, dropped color B, worked C and D, dropped C, introduced color E. Wow, this is really hard. I'm having to sing the ABCs in my head because I don't know what comes after D. But anyway, so on and so forth until you get to the very end of your blanket. And then what I did was, for my very last color, which was black, I reintroduced color A to kind of like even it out. So that's what I did. Oh, I didn't weigh the blanket, so I don't know how much it ended up weighing in the end, but I do have the final dimension, so I'll tell you that in just a second. I started this blanket on October 17th, and then I finished it on December 7th. I'm so proud of this blanket. I definitely would recommend making it, and I am tempted to make another one. Okay, so unblocked, the blanket measured 43 inches by 53 inches, or 109 centimeters by 137 centimeters. I knew that even though I was using an acrylic yarn, that the yarn would, or that the blanket would grow a little bit, because again, it is a garter blanket, which means that the fabric is kind of like an accordion, like it's very like stretchy. So after blocking, it ended up being 44.5 inches by 55 inches. But the other thing to note, so it grew a little bit, but the other thing to note is that the dimensions seem to be different when it's lying flat versus when I hold it up. Because again, it's like an accordion. So yeah, but honestly, I love the size. I think it's a great size. I am 5'3" and it covers me completely. I can snuggle up under it, no problem. And I hope, well, I know that the recipient is really, really gonna like this. So I'm very proud of it. I think that last time I said that I was a little bit iffy about the color, but I've decided that I actually really think the colorway is cool. Like, I think it's really cool how the colors work together. And I should have just trusted the process, because at the end, I really like it. I think it's a really, really cool blanket. So yeah, I need to figure out how much it weighs. And then I'll put it in my Ravelry notes. Yeah. Oh, the needle size that I used was a US 8 or a 5mm needle. And then I slit the last stitch on every row with the yarn in front, so that the edge is like, there's like a little edge that's created. I didn't put a border on the blanket, but the edge is pretty neat. Maybe it's easier to see on this side. The edge is pretty neat, and I like it. The back looks like this. It's a little busier. So you can definitely see that it is not a reversible blanket, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I still think it's cool. And in case you were wondering, I did cast on 180 stitches to achieve the width that I got. Was there anything else to say about this? I don't think so. I did 15 colors, maybe that's worth mentioning. Each section, I did 15 of the stripes. Oh, and fun fact, I timed myself. I was really curious about how long it took me to do one row, and it turns out that it took me about 4 minutes to do one row, and then each stripe is like back and forth, and so that means that each stripe took me less than 10 minutes to do, which was really, really cool to kind of like know that. I've talked on and on about my mental state when I have worked on this blanket and why it was so potato chippy for me, so I won't go into that for this video. But yeah, I definitely recommend the blanket. It was so much fun to make, and I think it's such an engaging one. So if you want to make a large blanket with stripes, this is the way to go. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to whips. I do have one sock whip. I know it's been a while since I've shown you guys socks, but I do have a new sock cast on, and it's really the only one that I've been focusing on at the moment, because these are going to be Christmas socks for my little girl. She asked for Christmas socks this year. I make her one every year, and so it wasn't a surprise to me that she was like, where are my Christmas socks? I'm like, girl, it's like not even double digits right now in December, like hold your horses. But she saw this yarn that I pulled out from my stash, because I wanted her to let me know what she thought of it. And before I could even ask her about it, she saw it. It was sparkly, and she was like, I want that. Can you please make this for me? I said, yes, I can. This is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply signature yarn in the Fairy Lights colorway. It is beautifully sparkly. There is a silver. Is it called silver stellina? I know we say like gold stellina, but it's silver by default if it's stellina? I don't know, but it is tinsely and beautiful and perfect for her right now, because she's been loving She's been reading these books called The Never Girls. Have you heard of Never Girls? It is based off of like the Peter Pan world of Tinkerbell and Neverland. And it's these girls who find a secret portal into the world of Neverland. They get to go to Neverland and go to Pixie Hollow, which is the home of Tinkerbell. And it's just like such a cute story. And she's been really into the Never Girls. And so when I told her that this was called Fairy Lights, she was very excited about it. But this is what it looks like. I finished the gusset on both of the socks. Oh, don't show my face. Both of the socks have gussets now, and her feet are pretty tiny. And so I only do, including the gusset, from the heel flap to the beginning of the toe decreases is 55 rounds. So for Sam's socks, I use a US 1 or 2.25 millimeter ChiaoGoo red lace 32-inch needle. I cast on 56 stitches for her socks, and I do a 2x2, 10 rounds of 2x2 for the cuff, 30 rounds for the leg. I do a heel flap and turn. I just find that the socks I knit for her using a heel flap and gusset just lasts longer and she wears them for longer. And then, like I said, 55 rounds of the gusset plus the foot before doing toe decreases. I have a feeling that I'm going to be done with these very soon. I just need to sit down and maybe give myself an hour or two to like finish these off and I'll be good. Okay, I also have 2 Stay Toasty scarves on my needles at the moment. Sam has been, the weather has been, oh, by the way, this is a needle runs through it. It's one of her small box bags and I love it. I got it at the SoCal Fiber Festival last year. And this is a project bag that I use for Sam's projects or Sam's socks because it's just so stinking cute. I forgot to mention it. It's from A Needle Runs Through It. Oh my God, so shaky. There you go. Okay. So as I was saying, the weather's been getting a little bit cooler. This week it's kind of warm here in California, but Sam has been almost religiously wearing her Sophie scarf that I made her back in 2023. And it's a navy blue because I initially made it for myself, but then she stole it. So she's been wearing it, but I want to make her her own scarf. She's been into really colorful things. She likes things that looks like unicorns and fairies and princesses. And she's just like really in that girly era right now. And I thought Homegirl really deserved to have a scarf that reflects her own personality right now at the age of 6. And so I started a Stay Toasty scarf for her yesterday morning, actually. And you guys will not believe how far I've gotten on this scarf. I just noticed that it's like across the room, so I'll be right back. Okay. Her Stay Toasty scarf is being held in yet another kitty cat bag. This is another one that I got from the SoCal Fiber Festival last year. It is from All Knit Up Designs. So, so cute. It is a zipper style project bag. And I am using a Zalberball. Oh, is it a Zalberball Crazy? No. Huh. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It's not a Zalberball Crazy, but it is from Chappelle. It is this yarn brand here. It's the same one that makes the Zalberball Crazies, but this one is just 100% merino. I did not realize this until just this moment. I initially bought this yarn a long time ago, at least over a year ago, with the intention of making socks for her out of this yarn. This was back when I was using my Zalberball in like striping them in with a neutral, and I just thought that that was really, really cute. It is a DK weight yarn, and I just thought it was a 50-gram ball. And I guess I thought I would just make socks for her with this yarn. I don't know what I was thinking, but I certainly wasn't thinking about the fact that it didn't have any nylon in it. I don't know. Anyway, it's really cute. It's really fun. And I'm really glad that now I decided to make her a scarf with it, because I do think it'll be better as a scarf than as a sock. Okay, are you ready for the craziness that is this little scarf? Ta-da! This is my little Sammy's Stay Toasty scarf. I love it. Like I said, I started this yesterday morning, and I knit it like during my lunch, whenever I was in a meeting, when I was doing trainings or whatever. Like, this is what I was able to knit on, and it is so cute, and it went by so fast. Like I said, I only had a 50-gram ball, and my previous Stay Toasty scarves were taking at least 70 grams. And so to modify the size for my baby girl, I did not do the full counts that is called for in the pattern. So there are like, I don't know how many repeats it is, but you go to like a certain number of stitches for the widest part of the scarf. And I think I did 8 stitches less. So I started decreasing before, like I just made it smaller, essentially. I think it'll work better for her. It works better for everyone all around, because I didn't have 70 grams of yarn. I only had 50 grams. So I think that that was sufficient. And then I also noticed that when Sam wears my Stay Toasty scarves, it's obviously really, really big. And so it ends up with like almost 5 inches of tail on each side, which is fine. I mean, that's a look. But I think in order for it to be like a little bit more snug and a little more cute, this size will be perfect for her. So I am very hopeful that I will be able to finish this little scarf for her today, and then I will use it as like a stocking stuffer. So this scarf, as well as her little fairy lights socks, will be a part of my like pre-Christmas gift for Sam, and I have a feeling she's really gonna like it, because are these colors so fun or what? I just think they're so fun, and I think she's gonna love it. Okie dokie. That is my first of 2 Stay Toasty scarves that I have on the go. And then the other Stay Toasty scarf that I have is actually for Sam's teacher. I think this is going to make a great teacher gift. It's being housed in a bag by Mountain State Stitches. It's one of her faux quilted bags. And I say faux quilted because it looks like it's quilted, but it's actually a quilt, like a fabric that looks like quilted. I don't know. I have been looking for an actual like scrappy quilted project bag, and I'm still looking for one. But okay, this one, I asked Sam what her teacher's favorite color is. I wanted her to give me some input as to what she thinks her teacher would like. Her teacher is fantastic. Sam started public school this past school year, and I was a little bit nervous, if I'm being honest, because she had been going to a Montessori school in previous years. And so, I don't know, I was just really nervous for my baby girl and like how it was going to go, but she has been doing fabulous. She's been adjusting so well. And I think a large part of it is because of her teacher. And so thank you. And putting together like a little, I don't know, gift thing. And a part of that, I wanted to include a hand knit item. Sam said that her teacher would like the color red. She seems to really like red. And so I initially had picked out this color because I think it's a fantastic color. This is more like a brick type of color, like almost like terracotta. It's called Cinnamon, and that's the color by Jam Jar Yarns. I've had this in my stash. I just had like an extra ball of it. And she was initially like, oh yeah, that would be really good. So I started the Stay Toasty scarf. holding the yarn double. There we go. But it was looking kind of brown, and it was looking more brown than red. So I checked with Sam again and was like, hey, do you really think, I don't know, what do you think about this color? And she immediately was like, I don't think it's red enough. I said, okay. So we went back to my stash, and what she actually picked up is my favorite color, red. And if you guys know, I have a crush on this red. It is the Garnet Heather colorway by Knit Picks. I've used it a lot, and you're actually going to see it again in just a second. But it is this color. Garnet Heather by Knit Picks. This is in the DK Swish DK base. And I had started a beanie at the request of one of my family members, but I think it might be too small. And so I had just been like holding on to it because I knew I needed to rip it out, but I was too lazy to do that. But she saw this and said, ooh, this one is red enough. This would be a good color. And I said, great, I will go ahead and cast that on. That only happened just last night. I am knitting from my project. I'm like knitting in as I frog. This is just as far as I got, but it's a good start. I'm hopeful. But this will be the handmade portion of the gift for Sam's teacher. And I'm very happy with the color. I think it's going to be a beautiful like Christmas scarf. Ugh, I kind of want to make one for myself, but we shall see. Yeah, so those are the two Stay Toasty scarves that I have on my needles right now. If I finish those, it'll be Stay Toasty scarf number 4 and number 5, and I don't see myself slowing down anytime soon. So I'm excited to keep going with my Stay Toasty scarf train. 2 more whips, okay? The next one is a project that I have never, ever, ever, ever made before in my life, but someone requested it and I was intrigued. And I think I'm kind of in this mood right now where I want to try making new things. Thank you to everyone, by the way, for all of your suggestions last episode on you guys' like last minute gifts. I did read every comment, even though I wasn't able to like heart every single one. And yeah, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep doing that because I'm so curious what you guys are up to. But I am making a bow tie. So after making this, which is like a little hair bow, I guess it's a little bit more feminine. Someone asked me, I'm like, can you make a bow tie? And I was like, actually, can I make a bow tie? I don't think I've ever made a bow tie before. So I went on trusty old Ravelry and I looked up, and lo and behold, there was a free bow tie pattern. It is called Gestrikt by Malia May Joseph. I think I'm saying that right. I used Google Translate to read it to me, and I think that G in the beginning sounds more like a, but I could be wrong. You can check my Ravelry page to see which pattern I'm talking about. It is a free Ravelry project, and it was like kind of cute. So I thought, I think I could do it. Here is the actual bow part. It is in the linen stitch, like I guess this is the moss stitch or the granite stitch or whatever. And I think this is actually supposed to be the wrong side. The pattern, what is it? I think I can show you on the inside. This fabric, this side of the fabric actually looks like this, and it's like woven. It looks very tightly woven, and it is very tightly woven. But I like the other one better. I like the more textured side, which is why I decided to use like this side as the right side facing out. Where I'm at right now is I've made the little knot parts of the bow, and I'm working on the actual like band. And what I'm going to do once I am done making this little band is I'm going to stick the bow through the knot. This is all what the pattern is saying, by the way. I'm going to stick the little bow through the knot and have it sit all tucked in like so. I'm also going to sew a button on the back of the knot right here on the back. And then a buttonhole at the end of the strap. Voila! Look at it. Look how cute. Oh my God, please focus. You know what it is? It's this blanket. Let me just throw this down here. There we go. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I really like it. I think it'll make a very pretty like Christmas bow. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I think it'll make a really pretty Christmas bow. And I think I'm gonna make this adjustable so that I don't know if this is gonna stretch much at all. The fabric is very dense, and so I don't think it's gonna be very, very stretchy, but still, just in case, I'll make a couple of buttonholes to make it a little bit adjustable. But that's cute, right? I think this would also be so cute for like a pet to have like on their little dog collar or their cat collar or whatever. Oh, so cute. But yeah, it's being housed in like a little basket. I just have it right here next to my couch so that when I'm watching TV, I could just like work on it real quick. And then lastly, I have made some coasters. I don't know why, but I just wanted to make some coasters for some people who I really appreciate. Like for one, my therapist, I really was like, oh, she could use some coasters. And so I made a couple of coasters for her. I am using a Queensland Collection Coastal Cotton Mist yarn. I'm using two colors right now. This one is Bridgewater Bay, or the band is Bridgewater Bay, and it looks like this. It is a worsted weight cotton, 100% premium cotton, and it actually feels great. It feels a lot like Knit Picks Dishy. It's very, very soft and luxurious. It's not scratchy at all. I am using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook from Clover. Clover is the best. And I am using a tutorial by Crafty Kitty on YouTube. I have done linen stitch squares. I've done many, but her tutorial is the best one. I'm just doing 9 rounds of the linen stitch, and it's so clean. It is a square. She does this cool little thing at the very end of each row just to make sure that it squares out evenly, and I think it's brilliant. It is genius. You basically you use a half double crochet to round out the ends or the corners instead of having like a seam down the middle of your square. And like I said, her tutorial, which I will link down below, is the best tutorial I found so far in making a linen stitch square. So like I said, this color is called Bridgewater something. What did I say? Bridgewater Bay. Yep. And then I made a couple of other ones using this color called Marley Beach. And this one looks like this. So I have 2 in this color and 2 in this color, and I think I'm gonna make 2 more of each to kind of round out the sets. I think I'm gonna give my therapist this one. I think it matches the decor of her office a little bit more. So yeah, that'll happen at some point. And I timed myself, and each of these squares take 14 minutes and like 13 seconds or something like that, just a little over 14 minutes. And so with 15 minutes, I can crank one of these out, which means in 1 hour, I could do 1 set of coasters, which is super, super exciting. So if you have any last minute gifts that you want to give, maybe this is the way to go. I know that some folks like to do like dishcloths for gifts, and I used to do that, and there's nothing like wrong with it, but I realized that I feel weird about giving people cleaning supplies as a gift. Like, here you go do some work with this. Does that make sense? Is that, I don't know. Like, I feel like my mom would get really, really excited about cleaning supplies, but that's because she's my mom. But I know for me, if I got something that, I don't know, if I got something that I would need to use, like I would need to do chores with in order to make use of it, like, would I love that? I don't know, actually. But anyway, it just felt a little bit weird to give like cleaning supplies to folks. And so I think coasters are a better way to go for me. In my head, it makes more sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. But I do want to make a little bit more coasters. And I think that's it. I think that's all of my whips that I'm actively working on at the moment this past week. And next are going to be acquisitions. So if you're not really here for that, that's totally cool. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys next time, probably next week actually, because I feel like my mojo, my like making mojo has been pretty high. So I feel like I still have things to show you guys next week. I don't know. But if you are here for the Yarny acquisitions, like, please stick around. But otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Okay. In my basket here are the yarns that I received since the last time we spoke. My Homespin House Patreon yarns came in. My Yarnable yarn for December came in. And I opened my first Sunday Advent sock set from Homespin House. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today. We'll start with Yarnable. Yarnable is a yarn subscription service that you can get, like a monthly skein of yarn, which is what I do. And this is December's color. It is called Sugar Plum Fairy. Isn't it beautiful? It is an 85-15 superwash merino and nylon blend. It is a 4-ply yarn though. It's not a 2-ply yarn, which is why I love working with it. I think Samantha's really gonna like this one. Next are my Homespin House yarns. So I'll show you guys the Patreon yarn first. So this is actually for October. This is the October yarn. It got to me early December, and I think it's because she's shipping from Germany. I appreciate that they cover all of the additional shipping costs, so I ain't complaining. I got 3 10-gram minis. It's in Velvet, Twig, and Gingerbread Cottage. It's so pretty. It's like the most beautiful neutrals, and I actually think it'll go really well with the sock set itself. It's called Cindy Lou Who. It's perfect. It's so pretty. But instead of the green, I think it actually would go really well with the 10-gram minis. And so I am tempted to use the minis as the heel, the 10-gram minis as the heels, toes, and cuffs, and not this green. I think this green is a little too loud. I think this combo feels really nice instead and cozy. So that's Patreon yarns. And then lastly, I have the first Sunday of Advent. This year I feel like is a little weird because the 1st of December was on a Monday. So should I have opened this on November 30th? I don't know. But I'm not ruining this for anybody, I don't think, because it's definitely past the very first literal Sunday of December. This one is called Sleigh Bells Ring, and it's such a pretty speckly blue-green, and I love it. I think Molly has the best speckled yarns. Like, I really love it. I love it so much. And so I'm excited to cast on some socks with this whenever I have the chance. I think it would also make a really cute scarf too, but who knows? Anywho, that's it. That's all I have for y'all. It's a lot. I thought it would be a short episode, but no, it's like a standard episode. I gotta go now, and work and get the day going, but I hope you guys are having a lovely December so far. I am loving Vlogmas. I don't do Vlogmas, but I love watching other people's Vlogmas. Do you guys have Vlogmas recommendations? I am watching A Homespun House and Laura Penrose pretty religiously. I do love that Lisa of 72 Stitches has a vlog this year, and so it's been fun to follow along with her. But how about you guys? Like, what vlogs have you guys been really tuning into? I am curious. But anyway, until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week and a great rest of the day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!